So it really was the interpersonal relationships that made Thanksgiving really, really murky this year. Um, on an aside, you might hear a clinking, clanking, whatever in the background. I referred in the last video to how our abuser had destroyed our home. He didn't destroy our home, but he made major changes structurally to our home without permits. And now we have different parts of our home flapping in the wind when it's windy, and we live in Colorado and right at the foot of the Rocky Mountains. So, yeah, it gets pretty windy, and so we have things flapping in the wind on our house. Our accounts are frozen. Technically, I have no money. I have nothing to fix my house. So, yeah, the structure of the house I had referred to in the last video did make Thanksgiving rough. Living in this house has been rough. When people talk about, you know, we are very lucky. We are in our home. We are very lucky. We have a roof over our heads and we are warm as we are going through this transitional process. I know so many families, when they escape, they have no recourse. They are homeless. So these are the things that I thought about yesterday that I was very grateful for, and why I think our first Thanksgiving was a success. We had our roof over our heads. We were warm. We had turkey. We had everything we wanted. We had green beans and Brussels sprouts and mashed potatoes and stuffing, and we did it all. The kids and I worked together throughout the whole day and did it all. Where for years, Thanksgiving was me placating the abuser and the kids hiding, staying in their rooms until the actual last second they possibly could, because who wanted to come out and get assaulted verbally or physically for not doing something right? First, you're called down to help, and then you come down to help, and you get yelled at for helping. So no matter what we did, we're still the bad guys, still lose, and there's always a pecking order. Always a good child, always somebody did something great, always somebody did something bad, and we are perpetuating that. So yesterday, we're making all the different dishes and cleaning, and of course, in every family, some people contribute more than others, and there does lead to a level of resentment and blame and finger pointing, and it does become a stable part of life because that's how people are used to relating to one another. I know that I looked for these relationships because that's how I knew people related to each other. That's how they related in my home. And that relationship is perpetuated outside of the home by the people in the home taking it out. And I see it with my kids. My kids will go out with each other and with shared friends. And the one who had established the original relationship is very territorial over that friend, even though they know they shouldn't be, because we're all taught, we're all given the language outside of the home of how we are supposed to be. So outside of the home, the narcissists and their families, they show all the right things. Oh, yes, this is so-and-so, and you can be friends with them too. But in the home, oh no, that is my friend. And you're not supposed to take my friend. And then we start trying to undermine the relationship. I can tell you, it's wild to watch your children do the same thing with their relationships that you and your siblings did with yours, and you see how wrong it is. Now I just call it out, just blow it up. The nonsense of language is what fosters it. It's what, I guess, especially in this day and age, in this presidential administration, when you hear things like alternate facts And I click on that because my abuser used to be like, alternate facts, how could they get away with that? These people live on alternate facts. Our presidential administration is it's the beacon of narcissism. And I like having it because it is an everyday personification of, we don't need any proof whatsoever. We're just going to believe that this is a good person. And they're going to live up to that. In spite of everything and anything we have seen before, we are going to keep believing because our family, our religion, our society, our culture tells us that that's what we're supposed to do, and we better fit that role. For almost a very long time, I fit that role, and I did a really good job. I think I did. I looked really good. I spent all of that time in that defensive mode of, if I be the best mom I can be. So when we were in the relationship, it was, when we get married, he is going to see how I will always be there for him. I will be that rock. I will be that best friend. I will be that confidant. I can. I know I can. But it wasn't so great after we first got married. Like the day after we got married, it started to turn, and that really freaked me out. Especially because it was my second marriage, and so many people warned me. But I had wanted it so badly. We talked about that lust for approval, that lust to make it right, that desire, that drive. I couldn't make it right, but I was gonna make it right. So it was gonna be right after the first baby was born. I spent that first pregnancy so alone. And then we get to Thanksgiving of each year. The first pregnancy, first when he was a baby, after that. And every time we would go through the cycle, if you've been through it, it usually lasts somewhere around 3 months. Things go bad again. You wonder why, and you try to pick it up, and it's so if this, then that, and I'll fix it and make it better. And 5 years, miscarriage, deaths, moving across the country, jobs, degrees. I did everything I could to keep digging us into a hole that I would eventually have to dig us out of. Yesterday was Thanksgiving. I'm so grateful we got through it. We made an amazing meal together. Our relationships blew up a lot. But we worked together, which was something new. Thank you for paying attention to my videos. Thank you for sharing this journey out. Maybe I'll even make another one today about the big inspiration that has made these videos possible. Thank you, and happy Thanksgiving.